What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So, the cat's out of the bag. Floyd Mayweather will be facing Marcos Maidana, and the location is still unannounced. It's unofficial. He usually fights at MGM in Las Vegas. They're saying possibly at the Barclays, so they're still trying to work out the business. All we know is the opponent for Mayweather and the date. We don't have all the undercards. But speaking of the undercards, I want to give you guys some information and hip you to a rumor, something is being talked about. And they're saying that Lucas Matthysse, who just tasted defeat recently against Danny Garcia, shout out to Danny Swift, will possibly be moving up in weight to 147 to face Keith one time Thurman. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like both fighters. I'm a Keith Thurman fan. He looks like he's improving as the fights go on. He's getting put in certain challenges, and he's rising to the occasion. He has power. He's a good boxer, and I've seen him adapt, especially in the Diego Chavez fight. I was really impressed with how he adapted. Diego Chavez, he was the mandatory, and he was coming to bring it, and he came to fight. He came to scrap, and he didn't want to lose his interim belt without a fight, and he did just that, and he made Keith Thurman reassess his approach. It looked like initially Keith Thurman was happy to use his power and thought he was just going to go in there and overpower dude. And Diego Chavez was really scrapping. And he was like, okay, maybe I need to box this. And then he had an opening and later got him out of there. So I've been impressed with Keith Thurman. As far as Lucas Matthysse, I mean, what's there not to like? He has one true loss that can't be disputed, and that was against Danny Garcia. And it was still a fun fight for me because Lucas Matthysse is always dangerous. He's from Argentina, so if you know anything about the top dogs from Argentina in boxing, name one top big name Argentinian fighter that is not tough. Sergio Martinez, he showed you he was tough when he got knocked down in the 12th round against Chavez Jr., got right back up. In the fight with Martin Murray, got back up. Marcos Maidana got dropped by a hellacious body shot by Amir Khan, got back up. The Josecito Lopez fight, he was losing some of the early rounds, and I guess he got punched in the leg in a real sensitive spot, and it numbed his leg. You look at Abregu, who fought Timothy Bradley, and then went on to beat Delorme, who was a prospect. And you got to give guys credit like that because it was a prospect who was hungry. He hadn't tasted defeat before, and Abregu has already been beaten before by Timothy Bradley. So there's no reason he had to look as good as he did against Delorme, but he did, and he showed Delorme why he's the prospect and that there's a different level to this shit just with his experience. So the fighters from Argentina are tough, and Lucas Matthysse is no exception. He battled a horrible eye injury in the Danny Garcia fight, and it looked like he still kept fighting. Some people just give up, they get frustrated, and a cut bothers them really bad. Even if you look at Pacquiao, and I'm not taking away because Pacquiao's a true warrior too. But Pacquiao in the fight with Eric Morales, he got a cut and it seemed to really bother him. Now that was a little bit different because he had blood, and Pacquiao, or some people are just afraid of blood in general, and they don't like to see actual your eyes leaking. That could be bothersome. But either way, Lucas Matthysse, he's game. He was dangerous for all 12 rounds, and Danny Garcia just simply beat him. But the fights with Zab Judah, the fights with Devin Alexander definitely can both be contested and disputed. And after that point, Lucas Matthysse got to a point where he's like, fuck it. I'm not leaving it in the judge's hands. And he really stepped it up. And his fights with Humberto Soto or Jose or whoever he was really in the ring with, Lamont Peterson, he really stepped on the gas and really pushed for the knockout, used his boxing ability as well as his God-given power to make a statement. So I, for one, love this fight. I think Keith Thurman, he's still young. He's on the up and coming. I've seen little flaws with Keith Thurman, and he's not invincible. He has power. He's still learning on the job. And Lucas Matthysse is looking to make a statement. So I don't know. Lucas Matthysse, he never just looks like ripped and shredded to me. And it looks like he can make welterweight. like he actually probably has to be pretty strict on his diet and his routine or whatever to stay on track to make 140. I'm not saying he's like just overly big like Brandon Rios or whatever, who just probably can't go back to 140. But Lucas Matthysse, from what I've seen, like in his walking around weight, it looks like he can make welterweight. As far as Keith Thurman, again, I've seen some vulnerabilities. He's an awesome fighter and he's learning on the job. One thing with Keith Thurman that I noticed is he has his chin in the air and he backs straight up like he's moonwalking or something. He just backs completely up, which is bad, especially for a boxer with punching power like a Lucas Matthysse. I haven't taken a look at stat for stat to see height and reach and all those kind of things, but I personally like this. Marcos Maidana, that's a fight that you have two champions, and you throw this on the undercard, and this could be explosive. Again, Lucas Matthysse lost to Danny Garcia convincingly. However, I'm sure Danny Garcia would attest to this. It wasn't an easy task. I know he must have felt Lucas Mathisse's power. There was a point where Danny Garcia got caught with the punch, and he just has a hell of a chin. Danny Garcia got punched in the mouth, and it knocked his mouthpiece like clear the fuck off. They showed it in slow motion. So Lucas Matthysse can crack, just like Keith Thurman can crack. So I really like it. Although I haven't seen Lucas Matthysse fight at welterweight, I still think it's a good fight because I think he can make welterweight. And unless Showtime was lying or they had their facts messed up, in the unofficial weigh-in, they said Lucas Matthysse in the fight with Mike Dallas Jr., they said he weighed like 163 or 164, which is huge for a junior welterweight. If you're fighting at a 140 and on fight night you're weighing 163, 164, that's a lot of weight. That's more than like Mayweather or Pacquiao weighs on fight nights. So that's a lot of weight. Like I said, I don't know, maybe Showtime got their facts messed up, but I remember hearing. And then if you see the Mike Dallas Jr. fight, it looked like he might have weighed 164 because he floored Mike Dallas Jr. in the first round. Just brutal KO. So I like the fight. Let me know what you guys think. Lucas Matthysse versus Keith Thurman. I think it could be fireworks, and Keith Thurman's trying to cement his legacy and kind of create his path. Lucas Matthysse looking to get back on track after a loss. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.